So you're out in the woods, your bike won't run, you need to get it out, you need to tow it, push it. It does require a lot of energy. I know the last time I was out, we had a brand new 18-hour TM racing bike with a washer that somehow landed into the top end, maintenance on the owner's part. But we pushed that thing for about an hour and a half until we could tow it. We're talking about single track and 5 healthy men pushing this thing, and boy, we were exhausted. It's not fun. 3 guys on the bike. We're always rotating, whoever's on the bike, pushing it, steering it, getting it up and over rocks, logs, getting it down that single track. I mean, it is a tough go. You can set up straps on your bike at various points, for example, around the forks, just behind your number plate to tow by hand to get the bike out, but you've got guys behind you as well shuffling the bikes because everyone's on foot basically for one bike. It's not a fun situation until you get to a spot where you can tow. So towing, I've seen numerous ways to do this. Emma, do you want to look at that? Okay, so don't tow Chris. So I'll go over here. Tying the rope or the towing device to you, not a good idea. Okay, don't tow Chris. I'll just go right to the chase. I'll tell you what's worked for me and for several others in the past. I've got 1,000 kilogram rated ratchet strap or webbing. Okay, it's very, very durable. Greg has got run of the mill that works, but it's going to break. You want to be particular with what you with what you're using. I know I've ridden with some guys who swear by parachute cord. It might be super durable, but doesn't work in this application. So we're not tying the bikes together. First and foremost, we're not tying the bikes together because you need to have the ability to undo the bikes at any given time, especially if you're towing in tight quarters like single track. The bikes are constantly turning, going up and down and over obstacles. You want to be able to let loose. Sometimes the cord or the strap gets caught in the rear tire of the tow bike. You got to let loose. So here's what we do. Take your webbing, wrap it around. I've got once around, okay? And that's not going to go anywhere, especially if I'm on the bike and I've got my foot there, okay? We're going up to the other bike. Just for this demonstration, I'll say, I'm going to do this so you can see it, but typically you want to have opposites, right? So in this situation, I would have the shifter side wrapped, okay? The reason for that is Greg maneuvers here. Look at the distance between the bikes now. You've got a 6-foot distance wherein this strap is not going to get caught in the tires. It's nice to have it offset. If you're rolling from the same side and he makes a turn, the webbing's going into the back tire, okay? But again, same thing. I'll go back. Just 2 circles around the peg. The tow bike has the ability now to lift a leg off the peg, and this will totally unravel, okay, and be left on the ground. It's not perfect when you're in tight quarters. It is what it is. You'll get the bike out. If you're going down a road, you can haul 3rd, 4th, 5th gear, not a problem if you've got experienced guys. This works very well. It's safe, and at any given point, tow bike operator or the bike that's being towed can release the system safely and be done with it. So any questions on that?
So the only thing that I would add to this is that the reason why we're showing this one, I did this summer with a tie strap like this, and I did it with this bike, and the problem that I had was the actual spikes on your peg, well, it actually groove into it, and I couldn't release it. Now, I was lucky that the person I was towing, that I trusted, I know how we knew each other well. But there's a case where if you look at the one that Chris has, you want to look for something like this that's not going to pierce it. So this one actually got stuck to it. So even if we let off our boot, it still wouldn't. It was still staying stuck to the bike. So that's a concern. Okay. So that's, this is that nylon, most of your toe straps, or I should say your tie straps. Whereas if you look at Chris's up close, it's actually a weave and it's a very tight. So it's worth spending the time to try and find something like that.
If you find that the pegs are cutting into this material, grab a couple sticks from the woods, lay them down over your pegs. That way you've got no friction there when you are towing. Any good stories about towing and not towing safely? Do we tie to the handlebars? Like that doesn't, if the bike goes down, you're not dragging a bike down the road. Tied to the handlebars. So just think about it. This method is tried and true. It makes sense.